How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to another deck profile on my channel. Sorry it's been a while. It's been a bit, wasn't able to put anything up last week because I've been busy because I'm moving house next week and getting everything sorted and getting everything packed up. So I didn't have time, especially as the reason why I didn't have something yesterday, but instead I've had something up today. So as I said before, I'm gonna try and do more deck profiles and like more stuff. And one of the things that I like the look of is the red Gogeta BR. So on the screen we got the deck list for what my view of the main deck would be. What I like, because what I find, as you can see, I'm not running the skillless stuff like with the extra card and the skillless ones because you can grab the extra card to grab 2 skillless cards for a +1 to get the materials. Outside of that, it does nothing else for me. Like the extra card doesn't do anything beneficial apart from get you those 2 cards, but you got to use an energy for it, which energy use in this deck is quite tight. Because for the first it's just going to be trying to set up and get ready, and the skillless cards, once your opponent's leaders flips over, they don't put as much pressure as when they're on their awakened, and you want them in hand, not on field, so they're not even that great as well. That can help take down a Unison, but that's not much of an issue. So I've gone with this list, so I'll go over it quickly. The cards, and then I'll go over the reasons for the choices and also some neat combos. So the leader I've gone for is the set 11 one. There's a reason why. One of the main reasons why I've chosen it over the other 2 leaders is mainly for its awakening and also how its unawakened side favors well with the deck. Like, because if you don't know, we have 3 different red Gogeta BR leaders. We have the one for set 6, which on the front side it's a Goku and Vegeta BR, which means that if you are using the with that leader, if you are using the extra card, they get the skillless. That can't trigger, and you can't use it until your opponent awakens because it's got to be a Gogeta BR card to use it. Whereas that leader is Goku and Vegeta on the front side. And one that leader can generate a lot of value in the fact that you can discard a Goku or Vegeta BR and then draw 2 and then potentially take a life, so you can potentially +2 on that leader and decide if you want to self-awaken or not and draw a lot of value. It only untaps 1 and draws 1 on the as awaken, and I prefer the untapped 2 as it gives you a lot more energy to use. And you don't really need to draw because the deck leader and deck already draws quite a lot. And all that also, but that leader does have a good awakened side in the fact that when it swings, you draw 1 and it's got an activate battle, and anything battles during your turn. If you've got 2 of each Goku, Vegeta BR in your drop, you can give it double strike and shut off any counter cards your opponent from your opponent that's cost more 2 or more. So it means unless they got 1 cost counter cards, they can't use them for the turn if that activate battle goes off, and that's really good. But I prefer this one. And then there's the promo one from the game, which is has the same awaken where you untap 1, draw 1. So I prefer it, as I said, prefer this one because it untaps 2. But that one awakens at 5 life, which is quite strong, and is double strike. I think on both sides, and it draws on both sides as well, which is still good by swinging, and there's a good cheat on both sides as well. And it's got the ability on the back side of as well to activate main, choose a your opponent controls that is choose one of your opponent's battle cards with 10k or less and KO it. So with red having one of its main things being power reduction, and that's a really good card because you can minus for things like the Veku the Fragile, everything like that, and then KO things quite easily. But then that effect doesn't go for barrier, and it's 10k or less, which if it would be a bit more, it'd be more worthwhile. But it's nice, got a nice thing awakening at 5 life, which is nice. But then, as I said, the main reason I've gone for this leader is because untapping 2 is a lot more beneficial. So with the leader, it's got 2 autos. The second auto is the same on both sides. So it's when it attacks, you can choose up to 1 card in your life, add it to your hand. Then you can look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 red extra card with energy cost of 1 among them, add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. So this is really strong in the fact that You've got Self Awaken. Love a deck with Self Awakening. Self Awakening means you can awaken on your turn without being stalled out, which is very good. And it's basically netting you 2 cards a turn potentially, like, or at least 1. And also it's optional to take life, so you don't have to if you don't want to. So if you feel you want to keep more, stay at higher life because your opponent's going to be aggroing you down, then you can always do that. And also be able to search some of your there's quite a few good 1-drop extra cards in red, so being able to grab something like that is really strong. Then the other alter, which as I said is the same both sides, is once per turn when you activate a union skill. So any skill that has union in it, union as the wording of the skill, you draw a card. So it's very good in the fact that when you awaken, the turn you awaken, you can union, draw a card off that side, awaken, union again, and draw another card. So you can draw quite a few cards on your awaken turn. And then as I said, awaken when you last at 4 or less, untap 2 energy and flip over. And the awaken side, it's double strike, so it's always got double strike, doesn't have to swing or do something to get double strike, which is really good. The auto, when it attacks, draw 1 card, so it's standard, but also it gains 5k power for the top battle. So you're swinging with the leader when you're awakened for a double strike 20k, which is strong. That's like a lot of 4-cost cards in this game. And as I said, the other auto is the same on the front side, where once per turn, if you activate a union skill, draw 1 card. So as you can see, the leader draws quite a lot, and if you can constantly union, which you can pretty much do with this deck, you're drawing 2 cards a turn, potentially 3 on the front side. And threatening with double strike for a leader is very good. So it means if you get your opponent down to 2 lives when your leader and it goes unnegated, you can put everything in. It's a lot harder to stop without negates a leader card swing than it is a battle card. Because potentially with a battle card you could pop it mid battle to end the battle. Where with a leader card, if you can't pop it and you don't have a negate, you've got to try and out combo it to stop it. So that's why I've gone for the leader. Very strong leader, and it synergizes well with the deck. So the deck we'll go through in bits, and we'll go through how it's listed because all the bits are all different. So I'll start off with the targets for the leader. So we got so what I'm playing for targets for the leader is there's 10 targets because I want to make sure you're not whiffing. Because if you have any less, I don't mind going down to just 8. But ideally you want to try and generate advantage, and whiffing, missing on the effect or the leader is quite painful because you're not generating more advantage. You want to keep the advantage with a lot of decks, because a lot of decks now gain a lot of cards. So you've got 4 Wolfang Fist, 4 Violent Rays, and 2 After Image Technique. So the reason I've gone for these is because Wolfang, what I like with this deck is Wolfang Fist. The best one to grab really is the Violent Rays. This is probably the card that is as close to Red's version of Dormant Potential, Unleashed, and Flying Nimbus as it can get, because it negates it as 1 energy, one cost, negating attack, and then you can discard a card from your hand. I can't remember if it's a red card or it's a card in your hand, to either make it so your opponent's battle cards with 20k more power or more can attack for the turn, or your opponent's Unison with Unison cards with 20k power or more for the can attack for the turn. So it's very good. And if your opponent's going with like all big things like Mirror with Broly BR, Dark Broly, things like that, you can shut off them swing with anything 20k and more for the turn, which is very strong. So if they swing the leader fresh, you'd use this, discard a card, and now you're safe from base big swings for the turn. It's very good. The other one we got is Wolfang Fist. Is very good. A reason why I like this is because when you got Unison down, which is what you want to try and do turn 3 at the latest, you can play it for free. And it's got a nice effect of choose the attacking leader card or battle card and minus it by 15k. So it means if there's a battle card and it's 15k or less, it's dead. Attack basically does is almost as good as negating attack on that, because it just puts down the 15 and dead, and it goes for barrier as well. And with a leader, it means that the swing with the leader's 0 cost, and you've got a combo up. So normally when a leader swings and you use that on it, the battle just ends because they're not going to combo up to 15 or more via combo power just to put in match the 15 for anything. There's a very nice there's a very nice card to help protect Unison, because you're killing battle cards mostly, or reducing to so much power that you have to lose cards to kind of combo up, which is very nice, because the more cards they lose, the less advantage they have. And the last one we have is After-Range Technique. This is just a really good card for red. It can be free if you've got Sparking, which is easy enough to pull off. Easy enough to just ditch cards to drop, and also can power up your Unison as well, so it can give you help Unison in the battle, which is nice. And being a minus something by 10k for the turn means you can help against anything that goes wide, because you protect from one attack and minus something else. And the fact that you can play it for free is quite nice, meaning that you can, like with these cards, like Wolfang Fist and After Image, you can potentially play for free, and Violent Rains only requires 1 energy, so it's very strong. So those are the extra cards, 1 cost extra cards I like to use. And the other extra card I run is Strategy's Union of 7. This is just because with the Gogeta chain, it can't be KO'd. The battle cards can't be KO'd, but that they can still be warped, bounced to hand, or spun to the bottom, spun back into the deck. So not being KO'd helps against mainly green, but it can be easy to remove. Like nowadays, it's a lot easier to warp stuff with overwhelm cards. Like the Secret Identity Massain is a good choice that a lot of people use in their decks now, because you can just overwhelm it, warp up to 6 cost, and that can easily straight away get up your Unison, your Gogeta chain. So what I've main decked is some Strategy Union of 7, just that basically for your turn and your opponent's turn, give it barrier, so it's a lot harder to remove, because having barrier, not being able to be KO'd, means that it's essentially safe for the hole until your next turn. And being 0 cost means it's free to play as well, so you're not tapping energy to play it, which means it's nice to use, because normally you're going to be tapping out when you go for the chain, or you're going to want to leave 1 energy open for a Violent Raise or something like that. So those are the extra cards we play. It's all cheap and effective to use, and mostly all of them can be played for free, or a minimum of 1 energy. Now onto the deck, we've got the we'll go for the super combo. We've got Radix, because all the deck is red. You're always going to be able to pull it off once you get to 4, and because you can wait in the 4, it's going to be easy. And being able to put something you don't want in the back of the deck, like an extra Unison, or anything you don't want. Like say you've got if you want to try and, well, basically normally it's just put Unisons back in the bottom of the deck. Just basically put something that you can't use or don't want in the bottom of the deck to draw 2 new cards is really good, and it allows you to see more in your deck, which is nice. And then with the Unison choice, I've gone for the Gogeta from the expansion set. So from the expansion 12 or 13, the red one that came with the red Vegeta leader before we got set 10. Now the reason I've gone for this one over the Gotenks from set 11 is because the Gotenks from set 11, it can't gain marker, like it can draw your card. It's got 0 cost, a 0 marker skill effect through a card, which is nice, but it's not. It can't gain markers unless you Unison. So if you can drop it, but you can't drop the chain, like say you haven't got a Goku or Vegeta or one of the pieces, or you haven't got the full chain, it's not that great. And then when if it's stopped, this could be easily stopped, and its effect isn't as strong to me. But so I've gone for this one mainly because of its synergy with the leader and my aim for the deck. So it's a two specific red cost Unison card with 15k power. So 15k means it's hitting the opponent's leader for the same point, same power, meaning you've got a combo use a card to out combo or negate, which is good. It's got an auto of when your leader if your leader is minus in power, it gains 5k. It gains 10k, which is good. Meaning that anything that minuses your leader gives it 10k, and that's a auto that's not once per turn. Essentially, you can so potentially what you can do is what I'll go over after I've gone through the effects. Actually, it's got 2 marker skills. One is +1 and one's a -2. So the +1 is an activate main, where you can choose up. The cost is to choose up to one card from your life to your hand, so it helps you soft awaken as well. So if you get the turn free and you're at 5 life, you can play this and then use that skill to to take a life, and then the effect gives minus your leader by 5k. So good thing about that is, one, you can help yourself awaken. So as I said, if you're at 5 life, you can use it to take a life and minus your leader by 5k, and then the auto will trigger and boost your leader by 10k. So essentially that effect's not helping you self awaken quicker and giving your leader a plus 5k, which is really strong because of the fact that 25k is a really good spot to hit, because you either want to swing for 15k or 25k. Because at 15k, you're forcing your opponent to lose a card from the hand to out combo attack, and if they use a super combo, they're comboing more than they need to, so they're essentially wasting that super combo. And when you swing in at 25k, you're essentially forcing a super combo and a never 5k. So while the super combo replaces itself, they then still have to combo a never card out to stop, so still losing one card. So in both those sense, they're losing a card from hand out combo it if they're using a super combo, and if they're not using a super combo, they're either tapping energy to use a 10k and losing two cards from the hand, or losing more cards at the hand. Whereas if you just stick to your leader swinging, drawing one card and going 20k, what they do is use a super combo, out combo at the 25, and not lose anything because the super combo replaces itself. That's why it's better to go in at your leader for 15k or 25k, and the Unison provides that. And when it's -2, which is a really strong effect, it's just one of the main reasons why I'm using this Unison over the other options there are. It's an activate main where you can, I can't remember exactly what it says now because it's really small and I don't have the leader up, but it's with that effect you minus your leader by 5k, and then you look at your opponent's hand. You can either choose a battle card in their hand that has 10k power or less, or choose a multicolored battle card in their hand and make them discard it. So one of the strongest things at this is one of the things you notice as well is both the marker effects minus your leader by 5k, meaning if you use either one, your leader's getting boosted by 5k, which is very good. And as I said, I like putting your leader 25k double strike when it swings. It's very strong. It pressures a lot. It pressures to make sure your opponent's losing either taking a 2 damage or losing cards to out combo it. And a very good thing with the -2 is you get hand knowledge. You get to look at your opponent's hand, see either see what they've got to defend with if you're trying to kill them, or see what they've got to do on their turn if you don't think you can, or you're not trying to kill them. But you literally see what they've got for in their next turn that they can drop, and also at the same time as that, taking out a card from the hand. So again, in things like green, you can rip out the hand. There are what's it called? The freezer counterplay. If they've got one in hand, to make it safer, to drop the So things like in green, you can drop out this the freezer counterplay from the hand, or any your King Piccolo can come in without being counterplayed, because most of the things you play in this have to deflect or can't be KO'd, so you don't have to really worry about things like that. But then Piccolo is one the exception that doesn't have that protection. And in things like blue or multicolors, you can get rid of because it's any multicolor. If your opponent's got, say, in green as well, you got the Celzeno, rip that from the hand so that you don't have that to drop on you. Can't think of any other big unison, but literally anything multicolor you want to get rid of. Super combo, multicolor super combos like Samasu, rip that from the hand, or anything 10k, which is like some super combos or counter plays you grip out the hand, and just the fact that you get to see the hand is very nice. Because it means you have knowledge of what they've got, but they don't have knowledge of what you've got. It's really good. So that's the main reason you, and the fact that you can if you drop it the same turn as you do drop the chain, the Gogeta chain, you can easily use the -2 without worrying. It's still got a lot of markers to survive, and with Wolfang Fists to help protect your Unison, it's very good. And if you one of the best things to have is if you drop this in the same chain, you give it enough markers to make it survive longer. you have the Gogeta 6-drop that can, on the first swing, so if they swing with something, you swing with a battle card, or the first swing, you can minus that by 20k, meaning that they're not going to want to, they're either going to have to waste cards to combo up to meet the power of the Unison to knock a marker off it, or potentially kill it, or just stop them, let them just finish the attack then without comboing. And with Full Fang Fist, you can make it harder for your opponent to kill the remove marker from Unison. Because normally you get 3 from the if you got the Gogeta chain, and you get 2 when you play it. So you can either leave it at 5 and just use or go 6 with the +1 just to give your leader mark if you don't look at the hand. Or if you want to health self awaken so you can awaken that turn, or you can just basically leave it at 6. Leave it at 3 after using the -2. So it's really strong using, and it's normally and if it does die, if you have another one, you can play it again, got the Gogeta chain again, or even just swing with it at 15, then sack it off to look at your opponent's hand after that. It's a very strong card, and I like that the -2 is always, at minimum, is able to be used as soon as you play it. And then next thing we go for is the Gogeta chain, so the Gogeta package. So as I said before, and as you can see, I haven't gone for skillless because outside of that little package, you'll be able to grab them. They're not that strong, and whereas I feel what I'm running for the Gogeta and the Vegeta and Gokus are ideal. So of each Vegeta and Gogeta, I'm running 6. So it's 12 overall. There's enough targets as you don't want to clog. So for the Vegetas, I'm running 4 of the TP11 Vegeta Godly Oro Vegetas, and 2 of the Magnificent Collection Vegeta Preparing for Battle. The reason for these ones is the Godly Aura has an effect of when you use it for Unison, which is what you're going to use it for. You can look at the top 7 for a Gogeta, add it to your hand. If you do add one to your hand, discard it. So that helps you find. So that helps you with using the Veku or the Gogeta. You can either use the Veku first to sack them off to look for the 5-drop, and then back, or you can use it from the 5-drop. Basically, just using them for the Unison. When you use them for Unison, you can help find where the Gogeta piece is. So what you could do is potentially on awakened turn is, if you're unawakened, use Veku. So sack off a Vegeta and Goku, play it, and get the effective Gogeta, look for the 5-drop, swing with it, sack it off to grab him back from the drop, then tap 3 to play the Gogeta, sack him off again, and draw 2 for the Gogeta, then use the effect again to look for the 6-drop, out to your hand, discard something, and drop the 6-drop on top of the 5-drop. So that's an ideal world, what that could do, so using that both together, and in that process as well, being unawakened when you drop the Veku, and awakening, and then and that way you get a draw for both the leader front and back side. But I'll go over more detail of the 3rd turn that you want to do. So like the Godly Aura is just a really good card to help you look for the Gogeta pieces, because what you want to do is try and, once you hit the turn 3, drop the Gogeta chain every turn after that, because it applies a lot of pressure, draws you lots of cards, and fills up your Unison with markers, which is good. And the Vegeta Preparing for Battle is a really good card because if you don't use it for a Unison, it's got a nice effect of activate main, discard it, and grab back a Veku or Gogeta BR, Veku BR, Gogeta BR from your drop and add to your hand. So this means if you've discarded the 8-drop because we're only running 1 copy, or you've discarded or you want to back some of the 5-drops because say there's 6 drops in back your hand, you can grab them back from the drop easy enough. And the Veku, the nice thing with the Veku is you can hardcast it if you ever want to then swing a 15 and sack it off to right back. And for the Goku pieces, we got 2 of the TP11 Goku, Son Goku, Godly Aura, and 4 of the 1-drop from the Set 6 Son Goku Preparing for Fusion. So the reason why we got this is because if you've got the reason for the 2-drop from the TP is because that helps you. It's got an effect when it's used for fusion. You can choose up to a card in your life and add to your hand, so it helps you self-wake. Basically, if you want more cards, you can take it from your life. Just add yourself when you drop a fusion to give yourself more cards to kill with, which is really good. And the 1-drop is very good in the fact that if you got like early turn 1, if you got an energy open, you can play that, look at the top 3, try and grab a Vegeta or a Veku from the top deck. So you've got, if you play one, you've got 10 different targets. Look at the top, potentially seeing the top 3 out your hand. And if you've got the energy opener before turn 3 and you have nothing up to play, you can use this to try and find the Vegeta, and it goes back to your hand at the turn. So potentially if turn 1 you play this and see a Vegeta, grab it, and you add it to your hand, this then goes back to your hand and you're there guaranteed to have both targets for your Gogeta then, or Veku. So that's the main reason why I run those. With the other ones, like the other copies of Goku and Vegeta in set 6 aren't worth it, because for one, they're higher than 1 energy, which is too much in my opinion to actually play one of these. At least with that Goku, it goes back to your hand after being played, so it's not lost. And they only have effects when it's on the field as well. Whereas these ones have the effects of either being in the hand, being used and fusioned, or being in play for 1 to look for more targets, which is good. And then for the Gogeta chain and stuff, we got for the Veku, just allow you to drop, potentially basically just trigger off the auto on your leader on your front side and your awakened side if you don't have the Gogeta chain, or even on your awakened turn, so it allows you to get the effect off on both sides. And being able to attack things in active mode means if your opponent puts down a 1-drop that you want gone, you can swing over something. If they pay like a cantrip, use that to run over it. So you have to either waste cards combo out of it to keep it alive, or just let it go, and then sack it off to grab out the targets. And also, as I kind of described just now, allows you to get more uses at your Vegeta, because you can drop the Veku to trigger the Vegeta to look for more Gogeta pieces, then use Veku to sack it off to grab them back, and then drop the Gogeta to then get more searches, which is really good. And then we've got the 4 of the 6-drop and 5-drop. The reason for this is because it's such a good chain. Once you get turn 3, as I said as well, you want to be dropping this every turn after that, because the power of the cards is very strong, and it allows you to draw more cards for your deck. And because at least they're 5k combos, not 1-cost 10k combos. And with the 5-drop Gogeta, it only requires 3 energy to use a Union Fusion. Can't be KO'd, but it has Deflect as well, so it's unaffected by counterplay skills, and it can't be KO'd. As permanent says, it can't be KO'd. And with its Union Fusion, you draw 2 cards, and then ditch the Goku and Vegeta from your hand. So really good, the sack off 2 cards, Goku and Vegeta from your hand, draw 2 brand new cards, and then potentially trigger the Goku and Vegeta you got Godly Auras, which is really good. And it's got a nice auto of choosing all your opponent's battle cards and minusing by 15k for the turn. So if your opponent's got on a whiteboard, or if they have played in a Boonie, you can get rid of all the Boonie tokens and put the Boonie down to 5. And then the 6-drop has Double Strike, EX Evolve onto a 5-drop for free, so you don't have to ditch any cards or pay any energy, just put it on top of the 5-drop. Also has the permanent of saying it can't be KO'd. Then it's got 2 autos. The first one is when you evolve it onto when you evolve this card into play, when you play this card by evolving it on a 5-drop Gogeta, you can't play battle cards for the rest of the turn. So normally this is what you want to do last before playing anything else. And then an auto of when this card attacks, or when your opponent's cards attacks, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and minus it. Choose one of your opponent's cards and minus it by 20k for the battle. So this is really good in that when it swings at your leader, it's 35k double strike on itself, and you can then minus your leader by 20k. So if your opponent's leader is 15, minus by 20k, so it's a minus 5 against a 35k double strike, which if they haven't negated it, they're normally going to be taking the damage, because it's going to cost a lot of cards to try and out-combo that, and that's without combo as well. And a good thing to note that it says cards and not battle cards, leader cards, I think. So when your opponent attacks, you can choose either their leader to minus by 20 for the battle, or one of their battle cards or Unison cards. So one really good thing with this is you can swing it a Unison with it. If say your opponent's got 3 marks on the Unison, you can swing at your opponent's Unison with the card. If they don't negate, then you minus with the effect, you minus the Unison by 20k if it's 20k or less, base power, loses a marker because it's been minus down to 20k, and then you knock off the other 2 markers using its double strike to 35k power. So it's a really easy way to take out Unisons, which is quite nice. And the great thing on defense is if your opponent's got something with 20k or less, with the first thing you swing with, if they swing with it, you might put 20k and end the battle. Or if they swing with, say, like a leader card first, like most people like to do, you can then choose that battle card as long as it doesn't have barrier. Might put 20k to kill it. So it's a very strong card. And then lastly, we've got the 8-drop, which is a one-off card that we have in the deck to help try and finish off. Because if you don't know, it's a EX Evolve on top of a 6-drop. So you have to use the 6-drop you've got. So you can't use it the same turn you drop the 6-drop if you're EX Evolving the 6-drop in. But the turn after that, you can drop it on top by discarding 2 cards. It's got double strike. Also has a permanent that says it can't be KO'd. Yeah, basically can't be KO'd. And has an auto of, if your opponent has no battle cards in the battle area when you play this, you can inflict 2 damage to your opponent. So if your opponent, so it's a good way to finish off games, getting them down to 2. If they got no battle cards in the field, burn them. Burn them for the last 2. And it's got an auto of, if it attacks a battle card, restand it. So it can, once you drop it, you can clear your whole opponent's board, then swing at the leader. Swing at all their battle cards, then swing at the leader for a 35k double strike. But the reason it's at 1 is because it's a 10k, it's a 1-cost 10k combo in hand. So you got an energy to combo with it. So you've got no energy, it's a deck card in hand, and it's just a nice way to, an alternative way to end the game. Then we've got the Secret Rare Broly. That's just that's a secret rare choice because you can drop it after the turn after you've evolved, after you've dropped the 6-drop. You can drop it you can sack it off to drop it. And it's a nice floodgate, meaning boosting your leader by 10k, making it a 30k double strike on swing and a 25k on defense, and put your opponent's battle card and leader cards combo power and power by 5k watts on the field. And having barrier means it's hard to remove and hard to get rid of, and a 40k is a nice way to finish off. And just be like, because if you don't finish with it, it's a nice floodgate just to make it easier to stave off your opponent if you don't kill them. And the last card we've got in the deck is the King Piccolo, the new ruler from the Draft Box 6. So this is a card that has double strike. It's a permanent of if your leader is red, which our leader is, it gains 5k, and your opponent can activate blocker on its attack. So it's a 20k, it's a 3-cost 20k double striker that can be blocked, and it's got an activate main of if you have a red Unison in play with 3 or more markers, you can play it from your hand for free. But I think you can't play more copies of it for the turn or something like that. I can't remember, but I know that you can play it for free if you've got a red Unison in play with 3 or more markers. Then it's got an auto of at the end of that turn, or the turn you play it, warp it. So it won't stay there forever. It's just literally to play. So it's a good way to basically put some more pressure on. Because if you go for the standard turn 3 that I like, that I've got in my head and have my strategy for when I'm playing this, is you can drop a lot of pressure on your Awaken turn 3 normally. And being a 20k double striker means there's a lot. You're putting a lot of pressure on your opponent and forcing them to either lose cards or take the damage. So that's a deck. I've tested it a bit. It works really well. Very strong. So with the turn progression, normally turn 1, you're gonna wanna either leave it open to use a Violent Raise or an After Image or something like that, really mainly turn 1 you want to use you want to have the Goku, play the Goku, preparing for fusion, try and look for a Veku or a Vegeta, mainly a Vegeta more than a Veku, to hand to try and get, so you've got your Goku and Vegeta ready for Union Fusion on turn 3. On turn 2, once again, you either want to play the Son Goku, prepare for fusion, or at least have a Violent Raise ready. So if your opponent's going first, you can stave off, survive their next turn at on their turn 3. A lot easier. Or That's mainly what I'll do. You want to have the Violent Rays, either have the Goku to help search for more pieces, or the Violent Rays. And in either of those turns, if you've got the Veku and the pieces, drop that to draw more cards from your turn, and also do the normal generic, normal swing with your leader, self-awakening to look for your 1-drop extra cards. And then when you get to turn 3, that's the turn when normally everything happens, where you want to awaken. So when you get to turn 3, you want to charge a free energy. What you mean you want to do is on turn 3 is play the Unison for 2, awaken, so untap to get, so you got all your energy again. Flip over, and then tap your 3 and discard a Goku and Vegeta to play your 5-drop Gogeta. Draw 2 brand new cards. Draw from your leader. Trigger your Godly Auras if you use them, and minus all your opponent's battle cards by 15, and give your Unison an extra marker. So your Unison goes at 3. Then drop the King Piccolo for 3 from your hand, because your Unison now has 3 markers. And then EX evolve on top of your 5-drop Gogeta, 6 Gogeta, to put 2 more markers on your Unison, so it's now on 5. Use your Unison's effect to -2, minus your leader by 5k. Look at your opponent's hand and discard something, and so you can see what's in their hand to see what they have to defend against your onslaught, or what they can do if they're going to survive, if you feel you can't kill them. And then you also will then boost your leader to 20k. So then you have, before you swing, a field of a leader on 20k, double strike, 6-drop Gogeta, 35k double strike, that can minus it by 25k, and your leader can swing. So when you swing your leader, you have a 25k double strike with your leader swing, it draws your card. You'll have a 35k double strike 6-drop Gogeta that can minus it by 20k. Have your leader to force through the put that damage through guaranteed, or minus it by 20k over a Unison or battle card to get rid of it. You have the Unison to swing 15 single strike with 3 markers on, and you have the King Piccolo to swing for a 20k double strike. So that is potentially 7 points of damage. 7 points of damage in a single turn, and you're drawing from that 2 cards from the Gogeta and 1 card from the leader. And then 2 cards from the leader because the Union skill, because it's Zevra auto as well. So you're drawing 4 new cards, and you can potentially have. And if you've got strategies, you can use strategies to protect the Gogeta, give Gogeta barrier until your next turn, and have Wolfang Fist and Adver Image in your hand to play for free. So that's the standard. That's the minimum. What you normally the minimum of what you can do on that turn. The only other stuff you can probably do if you've got it is before you play the Gotenks. So while your leader's still unawakened, you can drop the Veku using Union Fusion to trigger the second auto in your leader to draw an extra card before, and potentially use the Vegeta Godly Aura, so to try and look for more of your Gogetas. So for like the obscene God turn, like for the obscene turn 3 play, is charge a 3, drop Veku, discarding Vegeta Godly Aura, to play it, get a draw from the leader using its second auto, use the Gogeta to grab the 5-drop, swing with Veku, and then after that sack it off to grab out the Godly Aura and a Goku. Tap 2 to play the Unison, awaken. Tap 3 to play Union Fusion to Gogeta to draw 3 new cards, trigger the Godly Aura, then draw a card from leader from its auto. Minus everything by 15k, give your leader Unison a marker. Drop the Piccolo, drop the 6-drop Gogeta, put 2 more markers on you. Gotenks Unison. Use your -2 to look at the hand and ditch something from it. Swing. Then you can just go swing a leader or swing with the Piccolo for 20k double strike. Swing a leader for 25k double strike and draw a card. Swing with the Unison and swing with the 6-drop Gogeta and minus something by 20k. And that's an obscene turn. And then you still have, as I said, you can kill them that turn. Or if they've taken 1 damage, you can potentially kill them that turn. if they haven't, any turn on you can just charge and try and drop another Gogeta chain. But that's the main power play. You've got to survive turn 3, but it's not too difficult. And then you've got a lot of defense that can be played for free. Like once you've got Unison out, you've got the Wolfman Fist for free. If they can't remove the 6-drop, you've got that, the minus 20k one swing as well. And you've got After Image as well to minus and boost, I think. So if you've got a couple of Wolfman Fist, After Image in hand, it's going to make it harder for them to kill. Get rid of your Unison. So mainly when you're swinging at Unison, you want to protect it to kind of keep it alive. As long as it's got one marker by the end of it, you can then give it more markers again using the Gogeta chain. And if they're swinging at your leader, you've got combo power, then out combo that. The turn after that, turn 4, you can either swing your thing again, and try and put them down to 2 and clear their board to drop the 8-drop to finish them off, or swing with the 6-drop first and then drop the Broly Secret Rare to have as a floodgate to basically guarantee end. So that's basically the deck. Very strong. I've tested it for a bit. Very powerful, and it's what I will be running once we get the Piccolos in Draft Box 6. And until now, I'm not sure what I'm going to replace the Piccolos for until then, but I will figure it out later. What I'll do is put in the description what I would take out for the Piccolos in the meantime. But that's the deck. So if you like the video and like the description of it, give my video a like. It lets me know that you enjoyed it. And thanks for others. If you have any advice or anything, if there's anything I haven't gone over that you want answering, or any suggestions you have for the deck, drop a comment and answer as best I can, or take on the advice, because I haven't thought of everything and there might be something I've missed that's quite interesting, quite good. And lastly, if you haven't subscribed to my channel and like the kind of content I'm putting out, then click the subscribe button. Lets me know that you're interested in watching my videos and keeps you updated with all my videos as well. Thank you for this. Thank you for watching all this far. It's been a while, so I was a bit more descriptive for this one. And I'll see you in the next video, which should be another deck profile as well. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.